Hello, today we're going to talk about Mutant drum. So the Mutant drum technique, it's something that I came up with during my years of making music. And I'm just going to show you quickly what I'm talking about, and then we're going to talk about the technique itself. So basically, you should check how the drums are sounding and understand why I called it Mutant for a reason. So here's the drum solo. Okay, so this is a track that I released on vinyl a few months ago called Catharsis on Insult to Injury label. And the particularity of this track, it's the drums, that it's always changing. Therefore, I called it Mutant. So it is a very simple trick that I come up during my years of making music and programming drums, which is playing mostly with the clip itself, with the audio clip itself. So this drum was a drum loop, which I have lost the original project because of changing many hard drives during my life, and but I found the almost the original loop, which was a little bit modified, which is this one here. So I'm gonna play now the loop normal. So that's the loop. So the Mutant drum technique, it's basically alterating two things mostly. The first one is the Transpose button, and the second is the warp mode. So, nevertheless to say that this is made without Ableton push. It's made with the keyboard and my mouse, and I am the fastest mouse of East London. So I'm gonna just play the drum, and I'm gonna change its pitch with the warp mode. So as you can see, it's really fast. And so that's the trick of making the Mutant drum. It's actually to be always on tempo. When the loop is finishing, you know that it's starting the new one. So you need to be ready to come back to its normal state. Because unfortunately, you cannot map this transpose wheel, but there is one keyboard of the Mac keyboard, which is delete. So when you change the pitch, then to come back to unity, to come back to 0, you just press delete. So as you can see, so you can be really fast. So that's basically the concept of the Mutant drum. The other one is the warp mode. So to give an additional layer of Mutant drum feeling, I use mostly the texture warping because it's really fun. So when you're doing and then you can change the grain size and the flux by pressing 0 and enter, you come back to 0 straight away. So delete and 0. You need to be really fast with the keyboard and the mouse because that's the point about it. So that's the keyboard command that you can use really fast. And this setting is especially programmed to be play live with a laptop, and when you don't have a MIDI controller and you have a keyboard, so then you can just with your mouse go like really fast. So that's one mutant drum technique that you can use while you're playing a live set, or you also when you can make music. The second technique that I want to show you, it's still mutant drum, but more than mutant drum, it's drum alteration. So this trick has to do with the launch clip mode, which this one here you can open. So what does it mean? I have here in this instance 24 jungle drum loop. I'm just gonna play them. So really crazy alteration, and basically what is happening here, it's I choose all the clips, I open the launch clip mode, and I told him that first of all the length, I want to tell him that every time the cursor reach the 1.2 length, which is called 101, so every time is go to 101, I want him to pick any other loop and just carry on like this. So to do this, I just collect all of them. I went to the length, which is this one here, it's 101, and I go to other, which means that every time you finish the loop, it goes to another loop randomly. You can also choose any. It's probably the same. I don't know why they put two of them. You're gonna have this result. So it's choosing randomly the loops, and perhaps it's too fast. So let's make it that goes to until 1.3. So the length would be 0 to 0. Then I choose the last one. I choose the first one. I go 0 to 0. And now it's a bit more full on with the bars. But here it's always starting from the beginning. If I want him to go through the loop until the end, and I want all the loops that I'm choosing to follow the same pattern that always go through all the loops all the time, not always starting from the beginning, I choose all of them and I put legato on. So basically, when it starts from the beginning and it goes and it stops, and it's gonna carry on to the other loop, and then it's gonna carry on to the loop. Let's see what will happen. So as you can see here, it's actually not starting from the beginning all the time. So here we have the drum alteration. Another thing that you can put, it's the send here. The send, it's an echo device which is connected. I feel that it helps a bit more to make the drums a bit more dancing in the air. The other trick that I'm using is inside this loop, and you can use it also with the first one, it's the beat repeater section, which is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LFO. As you can see here on the equalizing and on the movement of the pitch and the grid and the offset, it's always moving. So when I play a drum, it's difficult to understand here because there is so much drum change. Let's play this drum here. You can hear the drum repeat when it enters. Let's make the offset a bit bigger. So basically, this is an additional drum alteration inside the already drum alterated pattern. So as you can see, it's a really cool change and very refreshing type of drums. Very chaotic. You can also apply the Mutant drum technique by selecting all of the clips. So that's in a nutshell everything that you can do. So yeah, that's everything for today. I hope you like the tutorial, and see you on the next one.